If someone offered to buy your business today, would the number feel right? Or would you find yourself explaining why it should be higher and pointing to everything you've built, hoping they would see it the same way you do? That value gap shows up more often than most owners expect. It used to be that if you wanted to sell your business, you estimated your EBITDA, adjusted it based on your industry's accepted multiple, and brought it to market. And that formula worked for a long time. But as with most things in business, the landscape has changed. Today, business valuation is shaped as much by perception as by performance. And sometimes the real value of a company lies in the story behind the numbers and how clearly that story is understood. What happens next is what most owners never see coming. But first, a story. Years ago, I sat with a business owner who had spent decades building his company. It was a well-known multi-location retailer with a solid operation, a strong footprint, and long-standing relationships with vendors and customers. He and his partner were ready to sell and looking forward to the payoff. But when the offers dripped in, they were well below what was expected. Why? He had built a solid company, but not a strong brand. The financials were there, but there was no clear differentiation, no meaningful innovation, and no marketing strategy to make the business stand out in a crowded marketplace. One of the clearest explanations of what drives business value comes from Peter Drucker. He wrote that the purpose of business is to create a customer, and because of that, the only two functions that produce results are marketing and innovation. In other words, value is created by how well you attract and keep customers, not by how efficiently you manage everything else. Yet when executives are surveyed, they list finance, sales, operations, legal, and people as their top priorities. Marketing and innovation rarely even make the cut, even though Drucker says they are the very things that increase business value and drive demand. That was the situation my client faced. So we went to work on how the company showed up in the marketplace, clarifying its message, strengthening its differentiation, and building the kind of perception that would support a higher company valuation. Over time, that work increased both the company's appeal and its eventual sale price. Many executives look to role models instead of marketing models. They focus on big, visible exits instead of the quieter work that actually builds value over time. At the same time, they underestimate how much competition and technology have changed the rules they're playing by. The value gap is the space between what you believe your business is worth and what a buyer is willing to pay for it. That gap is not created by your financial statements alone. It's created by perception. Buyers are not paying for effort or history. They are paying for what they believe the business can do for them next. If you want to increase your business valuation before a sale, 4 principles matter most. Step 1, understand your market position. Your business does not exist in a vacuum. It exists in the context of competitors, alternatives, and the expectations your customers already carry. Your message must connect to that reality. When you're explaining, you're losing, because your need to explain means your value is not immediately clear. Your job is to make that value obvious from the start. Step 2, differentiate your business clearly. You don't have to be unique, but you do have to be meaningfully different in a way your customers care about. Otherwise, you end up presenting strengths no one is looking for and answering questions no one is asking, which does nothing to increase business value. Step 3, prove your business value with evidence. Anyone can claim they're different. The real question is whether you can prove it. That proof comes from results, case studies, customer experiences, and clear evidence that what you say is true. When somebody asks you for validation, you need to be able to provide it quickly and confidently. Step 4, communicate and market your value consistently. Even the strongest positioning has no impact if no one sees it or hears it. Your website, your sales conversation, your social outreach, and your content all need to reinforce the same idea. Consistency builds awareness and trust increases company valuation. Position, differentiate, prove, and communicate. Your company's value is not defined by its financials alone. It's shaped by how clearly your market understands what you do, why it matters to them, and why it's worth choosing. Because when the time comes to sell your business, buyers are not paying for what you built. They're paying for what they believe it's worth to them. I travel the world helping companies increase their value, sharpen their messaging, and stand out in competitive markets. If you're thinking about selling your business or want to increase its value before that day comes, I have a few dates still open in 2026. Let's talk.